Hello everyone, welcome to this Anesthesia Addict contact lens review. I am super excited. I have 6 pairs from this collection that I will be showing you. First off, I absolutely love the packaging from Lens.me. It looks very professional, very simple, clean, and I always love that I get cookies. Seriously, I look forward to this. So the anesthesia packaging itself is absolutely gorgeous. You have to admit, it looks really looks fancy and almost like rich. It's kind of what it reminds me of. I like the color scheme, the font, and you also get a lens case that is specifically an anesthesia lens case, as well as a pair of lens tweezers. So this first color is the Anesthesia Addict Low Light, and it was my inspiration to review the Addict collection because I noticed when I watched reviews of it from other reviewers, it had no bug eye effect and very, very well done blending in the center. So I knew that these lenses would look super realistic and super natural. And I only confirmed this when I slipped the lenses in myself. And these are a really, really well done pair of slate gray lenses with a nice soft warm brown center. They actually are quite pigmented, so for those of you that lean more towards the pigmented lenses, maybe you have very dark brown eyes and you adore gray lenses. Also, if you have a cooler skin tone, this is definitely a natural gray lens to put on your list. So it's that beautiful, warm, sandy brown in the center, which blends perfectly with my medium brown eye. Then it fades out into sort of almost a lighter brown overlaid on top of the base color, which is a slate. Gorgeous, gorgeous pair of lenses. I don't see much of a limbal ring with these lenses. Doesn't seem to have one, so keep that in mind as well. And it has, I would say, a standard sized graphic diameter. Next is Claro, and I would definitely recommend these lenses for very dark brown eyes who love the gray look. So gray eyes are very dreamy, they're very mysterious. They go with a lot of different looks and makeup looks. So these are definitely on the lighter side. That's why I recommend them for dark brown eyes. They have a very, very simple standard design. There is just that starburst blended pupil hole to help with the bug eye effect. And then they fade out into the just base color. There isn't really much change in color gradient. It's a very simple design, no limbal ring, and very, very subtle lines, streaks, and striations to just subtly mimic an iris. So classic gray lens with minimal bug eye effect, and I highly, highly recommend for very dark brown eyes. These lenses remind me a lot of Peretti or Ice from Solotica, but they are not nearly as shock factor, so they aren't nearly as dramatic or pigmented. They are more toned down. So just for your own reference. Next is the Arena. These are a classic pair of warm green lenses, but I noticed that depending on the lighting, they also go well with a cooler skin tone. They almost look like a green-gray color in cool lighting. So these are versatile green contacts. They'll suit any skin tone, and also multidimensional in the way that they change depending on the lighting. In warm lighting, they look very yellow green and very warm green. It definitely gives a pair of colored contacts more interest. So again, this is a classic design, pretty much the same as Claro. It's got that starburst pupil hole to mitigate the bug eye effect, the one color gradient, and no limbal ring. Beautiful pair of classic green lenses, and if you are a fan of Mel or Amber, you are going to be obsessed with this Arena. It's very similar, but I would say it's more on the subtle side. So if you tried Mel or Amber and you thought they were just way too bright, but you did like the color, you will probably favor this Anesthesia Arena actually more because it's more toned down. Overall, I think these lenses are well designed, they're high quality, and they are a classic green lens. Next up is tan. I think this is one of my favorite in this collection. I adore the color. It's a very, very warm toned brown, caramel brown with a slight yellow undertone. And I love that color combination. It looks absolutely gorgeous on those with warmer skin tones. It really brings out the eyes against a warm skin tone. So again, these are a classic pair of hazel lenses, but I do notice that when you come up really close, you'll notice that the patterning is a little bit more milky looking, or a little bit more softer looking and more blended than the previous lenses that we looked at. And I prefer that. I think it looks more natural. And then you'll see that it blends out into a darker color, which almost simulates a limbal ring, but I think that's my own limbal ring coming through there. Very minimal bug eye effect because of that starburst pupil hole. And I just really like the color combination of these lenses. They make your eyes glow. And I just really love that sort of earth-toned caramel brown color. These lenses would look gorgeous with warm-toned makeup, a lot of orange undertone. They would just pop. Next is the Addict Castano. So these lenses look very similar to tan. I will include a comparison shot afterwards, but they are more cool-toned, brighter, and more startling than tan. So the key differences are, yes, they are obviously hazel, just like the tan, but they have a lot more of a gray undertone, so much more suited for cooler skin tones. So if you have a cool skin tone and you like hazel lenses, you would definitely suit the Castano a lot more. But again, same type of design with that blended starburst pupil hole. But the patterning is not that like milky, creamy type of patterning. It's more harsher and less blended. So keep that in mind as well. And you'll notice that when I come into the cooler lighting, so the natural daylight, you'll see a lot more of that gray come out. So these are almost like a gray brownish lens. So again, I would choose based on your skin tone. And last but definitely not least is Finesta. And I know that some of you guys have told me that this green lens is fairly natural. And I was actually surprised because when I took a look at this lens before putting it in my eyes, it does not have a blended pupil hole. It's actually quite blunt. So I was like, how do these look natural, or how are these going to look natural? But I slipped them in my eyes, and it's actually the color gradient that makes them really, really natural. So in the center, it's actually sort of like a brown color, especially you can really see it in person. And then it fades out into this really, really yellow-green color, but the coloring of it just somehow blends really well with a brown eye. So it pretty much eliminates that bug eye effect. If you're a fan of, say, the Amazonia green or the Buzios, you really like the super light pigmented greens that don't have a bug eye effect, this is another one to put on your list. It actually has a higher opacity than Buzios or Amazonia green, for instance. So it's actually more suited for very, very dark brown eyes. But again, you're not going to have that fake looking bug eye effect. So if you have very dark brown eyes, but you don't like that crooked eye look, but you still want super pigmented and high opacity green lenses that will show up and will brighten your eyes, I would definitely look into this Finesta. So these lenses are 6-month lenses available in prescription, and on lens.me they retail for $50 US per pair, and then if you use my discount code DANICA10 you can save $5, so it will bring them down to $45 US per pair. Let me know which ones were your favorite. Mine were definitely the low light. Beautiful pair of gray lenses. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!